good evening, good evening, good evening. And if you did not know, Senator Pastor Raphael Warnock won last night over Herschel, the human hemorrhoid Walker.
The walking CTE
Whoa, whew, Jesus, Marion Joseph.
just fumbled that.
It was very tight.
Yes.
Georgia, get it together. Because that race should, first of all, it should have never made it to a runoff. Number one. Number two, it shouldn't have been that close last night because y'all had a girl stressing. Okay. I mean, stressing. What were y'all doing? What were you doing? But now,
Marjorie was
Walker,
pulling for votes
well, Walker for Texas Ranger can now go back to Texas because he lost.
and be a
But
werewolf.
hold on. Speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm glad you brought her up because she's in her feelings. She's in her feelings over this runoff and the midterms. And y'all know the drill. We'll see you in 2 and 2, and then we'll come back and discuss it.
I, happy Hope Day. I can barely get this out. Margaret is on Steve Bannon's show right now, losing her effing mind. She's such a crybaby. She's mad at Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell because they didn't share their toys with her in Georgia. Here's Marjorie's latest rant. Have a great day.
This is for Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and the rest of the Republican senators. You guys are the reasons why we are losing Republican races all over the country. And this is your third loss in my home state. So let me inform you on behalf of Georgia, this is your third strike and you're out. You don't belong in our state running key races anymore. No, thank you. We don't want your help. Let me let you know something, Steve. I was never asked very often by the Herschel Walker campaign to come speak at any of his campaign events. They told President Trump to stay out of Georgia. That was another major mistake. And then the same fools are out there running around trying to blame President Trump today. Well, they should have invited him to Georgia to campaign with Herschel Walker. They should have invited me to campaign with Herschel Walker more. This is a message for the know-it-all Republican consultants. You don't know how to run races in Georgia. All you know how to do is lose. And we are very angry today. We're extremely angry today. Georgia is not a blue state. We're not a purple state. We're a red state.
Well, they're obviously not a red state because
I don't know why she's getting after Lindsey. He's the one that sat by him during every interview. You know, Lindsey's the big flip-flop.
Lindsey and Ted Cruz. But you're sitting here talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Why didn't anybody ask me to come out and campaign, sweetheart? We're still trying to figure out how you got elected because I saw the footage of that holiday parade that you were in and you were getting booed. No one likes you there. I've looked online. I've looked at real life accounts of her showing up places within her district. Baby, how did you get elected? Nobody likes you. So why would somebody bring you? And everybody knows how toxic Trump is right now. And Marjorie, you know how toxic Trump is right now. That's why you tried to backdoor Trump and tried to get on the Kanye ticket. Because Milo Yiannopoulos used to be your intern and you reached out to him before he got fired by Kanye and before the dinner that was heard around the world went down. But if y'all want more information regarding Warnock versus Walker, as always, check the links in the description of this video. But
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Well, Walker, Texas faux Ranger. But let's get our sports stuff out of the way. There's some history making news. I'm not going to pull us from the broadcast as I show this video because it's only 9 seconds. So by the time I pull us, I would have to bring us back in. But Black women, we are winning.
I get paid every day. I get paid just to say I get.
Hold on, one more time. Just one more time for the good time. One more time.
I get paid every day. I get paid just to say I get.
All right, that was quick.
But Danielle Staley, congratulations. Congratulations on getting the payday that you so deserve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one
Cause
there. That one
yeah,
get a payday.
but move,
That one's
crackhead.
about to get his payday revoked. That one right there.
Stop touching me.
Yeah.
Why you always touching me? Boy, I wanna know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wonders.
so coming from ESPN.com, arrest warrant issued in Tampa for Antonio Brown.
Oh.
All of a sudden, don't. You sent me the original thing, and then I had to go and get it.
Okay.
So,
That's
police in Tampa issued an arrest warrant Thursday for former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown. The active warrant stems from a domestic battery incident involving a woman, Tampa police said. On November 28th at approximately 1:30 p.m., Brown and the woman were involved in a verbal altercation at his home in South Tampa. The argument became physical, and according to police, Brown threw a shoe at the victim. Brown also attempted to evict the woman from the home by locking her out. Well, maybe you should have tried the eviction before throwing a shoe at her. I'm just saying, like, bro, we can't trust you with planes, trains, automobiles, or households. What is going on, Mr. Brown?
couldn't trust him with Tom Brady.
Like, you're not the Mr. Brown from the Medea movies. This is not what we expect from you. You're supposed to give us jokes, not convictions and indictments and warrants.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like,
Yeah, he's not even gonna make it to the Canadian League doing that stuff. So
and correct me if I'm wrong. He's supposed to be currently bouncing around from team to see who wants him, right?
he's not bouncing right now. He's not getting invites.
He bouncing, but he bouncing on the wrong stuff.
Yeah, after that last time when he
The wrong
bounced
stuff.
out of the team, when he bounced out of Tampa Bay, everyone else was like, okay, we're not putting him in our locker room. So
I
yeah,
wouldn't. I wouldn't put him in a
I
parking lot.
do not see him in a uniform. Mm-mm.
And then, coming from Athlon Sports, Baker Mayfield claimed by new team on Tuesday. Baker Mayfield was released by the Carolina Panthers on Monday morning. Just one day later, he found a new home. According to ESPN's Adam Scheffler, Mayfield was claimed off of waivers by the Los Angeles Rams today and could suit up for Thursday's game against the Raiders. Do you think he's really a good fit in LA?
You couldn't make it here in Charlotte. And then when you found out you were going to be basically third string, you asked to be released. You had the keys to a car. If you can't drive it, they're not giving you the keys back. So, yeah. Yeah, Baker.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think
Whatever
he
you
got
thought you had in Cleveland, I don't know, whatever you thought he had in Cleveland, aside from the Progressive commercials.
And that's the thing. That's all he was known for in Cleveland was making progressive commercials all over the stadium,
Mm-hmm.
but not for his work on the field. Like,
And the Heisman House, the Nissan commercials.
and my thing is, you've known since the beginning when they decided to draft him. You're one. Actually, you're the only person that knew my thoughts on him. I don't even like Cleveland, and I was like, Cleveland fucked up. Cleveland fucked up. And for me to say, as much as I loathe Cleveland, that they fucked up, and I cared about them fucking up, that says a lot.
Yeah.
But
But
Baker
they go from that to they
Mayfield,
go from and then they go from that to Deshaun.
which
What
I'm like, y'all, and it's funny because you know how many of our viewers that are from Cleveland that love to DM me, get on my Facebook page, get on my Instagram page. Now, Cleveland, I've been to Cleveland a multitude of times. One of my godmothers is from Cleveland. I've been up to that dirty ass, set the river on fire city. I don't give a shit. Okay. Y'all fell for LeBron James twice. He played y'all twice. Shut the fuck up. Y'all stupid. Okay. Just admit you're stupid. The Brown family didn't even like y'all. They got up and through, and they decided we're not never gonna put our name on another team. And then we got the Cincinnati Bengals. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Just shut the fuck up, Cleveland.
And then since
But
he got Mr. Ohio, Joe Cool.
Mr.
That's right.
But
That's right.
Baker made
I
the
bet
Baker
they wish they had
and the
a
Rams.
But they wish they had
I just don't see cohesiveness with Baker going to the if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Next week when we come back, if Baker does the thing tomorrow night, next week, y'all see it right now. Record right now. Screen record right now. If Baker does the damn thing tomorrow night with the Rams and he shows cohesiveness, I will apologize. I don't think it's going to happen. I have yet to be wrong about Baker, but it's the first, the clock could strike the right time at this point. I don't think it will, but okay.
No, at this
But
point, even if we were going into daylight savings time, no.
We would have to go into NFL savings time to save Baker. Anywho, also coming from Athlon Sports, Deion Sanders adding recently fired head coach to Colorado staff. Florida Atlantic head coach Willie Taggart was fired by the Owls on November 26 after finishing his tenure with a 15-18 record. According to a new report released this Monday afternoon, though, it appears Taggart won't be out of a job for very long. Per Doug Samuels of Football Scoop, Taggart will reportedly join recently hired Colorado head coach Deion Sanders in Boulder. My thing is, y'all know that the portal is about to be shut down. When Deion Sanders said that he was going to portal his Gucci luggage to Colorado, y'all know they're about to change the parameters and the rules of the portal. The same portal that was making a way for certain athletes under certain coaches. Deion Sanders is not the complexion for this, but he was like, the rules stand. I'm going to portal these students over. But this is not the end all to be all. You JUCO athletes, hear me and hear me clearly. Get your shit together. This is your time to shine. When they shut off the portal, JUCO will rise again, because there was a time where JUCO athletes, Deion Sanders was a JUCO athlete. Remember, this is your time to shine. Get your stats up. Get your stats up, and get your Heisman. Get that scholarship. I mean, actually show up to classes though. Show up to classes though, and do the work.
Right. Yeah,
let me put that out there. But JUCO athletes, and for those of y'all that don't know about JUCO, it's junior college. JUCO, junior college. But JUCO get up there, because they're about to shut down the portal. Now that they don't realize Deion Sanders knows how to manipulate the portal. And those of y'all that are not familiar with college, the portal is a trainer, a coach goes to another college and makes a way for the top athletes to get their scholarships, their housing, everything matched at another college, and makes that college a powerhouse. And the boosters love it. The boosters will pay out the ass. That's the portal. Deion Sanders finally said the quiet part out loud on camera in 4K that he's utilizing the portal, and he's portaling over the best of the best that he's cultivated. And if you can't keep up with them, you will not be a disappointment on his resume. Baby, like I said, JUCO students, JUCO athletes, get it.
Yeah, that speech he gave at the football team was classic. Talking about I'm coming. He said, I'm not finished yet. I got to finish some business at Jackson State, but I'm coming. And some of these positions that we got, I got them covered already. I'm bringing my baggage.
Yeah, he said, I'm bringing my luggage, and my luggage is Gucci. My luggage is Louis Vuitton. And some people thought that he was being materialistic.
No.
First of all, y'all need to understand AAVE, and you need to understand athletic talk. Because in the world of athletes, we do talk about each other like we design the bags, because we the best of the best, okay?
So there will be a whole new look in Boulder, and he will shape them sooner than later. They may have been in the basement at what they had, one win. They may have been in the basement, but watch what he does with that. Not just the players, but that culture. I mean, he means business. He's not. He doesn't show up for glamour. For look at me and my gold chains. He doesn't show up for an image. He gets to work. He gets to work.
And that's the misconception
He
from
loves
when
his sport.
when he was a professional athlete. People thought, oh, he's come. No, he came to deliver. There's not one game, there's not one time that he hit the field when he was a player himself that you couldn't say he didn't give his all. Did it always result in a win? No, because he's not the only player on the field. But you can't take away from the fact that he left everything on the field, and that's what he expects as a coach.
As a pro baseball player too. So
and see, y'all just thought it was just Bo that did two sports. Nah, baby. But before we move on, there's another. Would you stop being a freaking crackhead?
Jesus.
Okay. First of all, this is a vacuum cleaner. It's a shark. It is nothing else.
Sir Crackhead. That's for Sir Crackhead.
Because I know how it looks when I pick it up. So I'm like, I don't need people. Okay. But coming from allsteelers.com, Antonio Brown still on run from police. The former Pittsburgh Steelers receiver remains wanted by police. Former Pittsburgh Steeler and current free agent wide receiver Antonio Brown remains wanted by the Tampa Bay Police Department for battery charges, according to League of Justices. Wait a minute, League of Justice.
Oh, wait. Don't we know that?
It's Superman and Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter looking for him.
Unite the Seven. Unite the Seven.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Aquaman.
Wait a minute.
He may have been Aquaman and his little skivvies.
Are they releasing the Teen Titans onto him? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Brown had a warrant put out against him on December 1st for a domestic dispute at his home in Florida. Police attempted to arrest Brown, but the former wideout refused and stayed locked inside his house. Wait a minute. When do we get to just remain locked inside our houses? Ain't no way.
You can't come in. I'm sorry, can't come in. Deshaun was in there.
It had to be. Had to be.
Just a guess. You know.
They must have thrown a few dogs in there as well.
Yeah. They didn't say Sir Crackhead though.
Would you stop crackhead?
They got the dust off.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
That is wonderful.
Wait, because I know my sister is in the comment section. Oh, okay. You know what? Y'all ain't y'all. You know what? Y'all hilarious.
Yeah, there's no dust on his muzzle now. You got that off.
But okay. So yesterday, I showed y'all a small clippet of the honor ceremony regarding those that unfortunately fell or no longer with us after the January 6th Trump self-coup. Can't talk tonight. But I have some more in-depth information, and as always, we'll be back. I would say this is a 2 and 2, but this is actually a 3 and 3. So it's 2 videos, and it'll be about 3 minutes long.
And he has about 3 minutes left on his life.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Here we go.
So we're watching a ceremony to honor the families of the officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th. This is the family of Brian Sicknick. You see snubbing Republican leadership, Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy, as they shake Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's hand. And I'm not mad at them. Officer Sicknick's mother later did a interview and basically said she thought that they were two-faced. Because how dare you stand here and try to honor, her son while you have done nothing to hold the people in power accountable, particularly when you could have removed Trump when there was a second impeachment that came around, when you could have assisted Democrats in the January 6th committee in the House vis-a-vis Kevin McCarthy, when you could come out now and say something about his comments about overthrowing the Constitution. So no, I'm not going to shake your hand, and I don't blame her. It wasn't disrespectful, it was honest.
Here's what former D.C. police officer and American hero Michael Fanone had to say about Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell showing up for the awards ceremony today.
Well, first, I was surprised, actually, that Kevin McCarthy showed up. I thought that he would be busy trying to figure out how he could suspend the Constitution on behalf of former President Trump. That ceremony happened in spite of Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell, not because of them. And so the fact that they got to go there and speak words, they were meaningless.
And here's something in that same interview that really pissed me off.
You talked about the reception that you got today. Were you heckled by some of your fellow officers or former officers?
I was.
And here's what MSNBC's Frank Figluzzi had to say about that. And I agree 100%.
So this is the real disgrace. And the issue here is the culture that still continues at the Metropolitan Police Department in the District of Columbia. These were true heroes that were honored today fighting for democracy. So if the Special Operations Division at Metro Police don't understand what a hero is, don't understand what it means to fight for democracy, then they need to find another job. They can start with a donut shop that they hang out at every single morning, and they apply for jobs there. What needs to happen is the chief of police for the District of Columbia needs to announce publicly that there's going to be an internal affairs investigation, that he's going to interview every member that was there today and get to the bottom of the heckling and then remove those officers, because it's unacceptable and it gets to the larger issue of a continuing culture in law enforcement that starts at the top. And if the chief can't figure it out, the chief can move on and get another job.
And I would just like to say to those members of the D.C. Metro Police that heckled Michael Fanone today, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, the great blue line during that ceremony, I don't think a lot of people caught. There were a lot of true supporters that were there and clapping and cheering them on, but the entirety of the police department booed the families and boot that former officer. So when we say ACAB, all cops are bastards, this is what we mean. If you're willing to stand on the side of corruption, you're screwed. I don't know if you all saw, linked into the description of yesterday's broadcast, but if you go to my YouTube page, whether you're watching it on YouTube right now or not, but under the videos tab, if you click onto it, I hate to say this, but under the trial for Tatiana, the partner of the officer who shot a Tatiana dead in her mother's house while babysitting her nephew and just playing video games and making burgers, spoke out and admitted that they did not follow protocol. Media personalities, commentators, other police officers have come out to condemn this woman because she spoke out and said, no, we did not alert her that we were police. No, we all we did was tell her to hold her hands up. And if somebody comes to your house and is like, put your hands up, why would you put your hands up? You're going to run for cover. And when asked, did she have a gun? No, I saw her face. See, when officers speak out, then they're condemned. Just like when military personnel speak out about war crimes, But y'all not ready for that conversation, are you? Now, for the first time ever, there's some truth coming out on Truth Social. Yeah, the Trump app.
It still works.
I
thought it's in technical difficulty, Bill.
Oh, it's all through technical. That's why I had to. I only keep it on one device, and it's one device that if it burns down, that device is not going to keep me from moving forward. But y'all take a look at this, because I don't even know how to explain this. Here we go.
Not Happy Tuesday. Here we go. Into the mind of a malignant narcissist who has a touch of dementia. Brace for impact. Posted all this in the last hour, okay?
The respected director of national intelligence, Avril Haines, when asked on NBC Fake News what she would do about the Mar-a-Lago boxes hoax, smiled and laughed along with the studio audience, responding, "Please don't do that." In other words, she viewed this investigation as a joke. Under the Presidential Records Act, which governs, you negotiate, but there is no crime. Under the Clinton Sox case, taking records is allowed by law. This is a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time.
No, it isn't. Moving right along.
Important. Tomorrow has become today. To the great state of Georgia, vote today for Herschel. He will never let you down.
He already has. Let me just bring Dump Force 1 in for a landing in Crazy Town.
Murder and violent crime is at an all-time high in NYC, and the DA's office has spent all of its time and money fighting a political witch hunt for DC against Trump over fringe benefits, something that in the history of our country has never been so tried in court before. 2 weeks at trial, yet no murder case has gone to trial in 6 years, much to the consternation of victims, mothers, and families who are devastated that nothing is being done to bring justice. Too busy on Donald.
He has no idea what consternation means. Have a great day.
And let's not forget, within the confines of New York, this is the same man that put out a full-page ad asking for the execution of the Central Park Five, which we know were exonerated because they were never anywhere near where that was. And isn't it amazing that Trump, when he was elected president, wasn't the president-elect out of New York, where he's lived his whole life? And he's talking about there's no murder cases being prosecuted. He just told us the truth about his intellect. That's why I said the truth is finally making it to Truth Social. He doesn't understand that the district attorney's office, there's branches. It's just like the pale pedestrian that called me a uneducated, non-history knowing Miss Bojangles bitch on TikTok, didn't understand that Protestant Christianity was a thing. He thought that that was two different things because of Martin Luther, and thought that the Lutheran religion was a part of Catholicism. But we'll save that conversation for later. Trump doesn't understand that there are different DAs assigned to different things. I guess, you know what? I guess he never saw Law and Order SVU. Does he think that all DAs just tackle everything, that everything is every attorney's forte?
Yeah, I would love if we had Mary Trump on here to talk about it.
I did send her an email though.
Because
She did like a couple of my tweets on Twitter.
yes,
And she has liked a few of my posts on Instagram. So I might have a chance. I might have a chance.
there we go. Yeah,
Now, if I had my original TikTok account back where she could see our back and forth talking about the book, that might push me over the edge. So, you know,
she
if y'all could just like at her and be like, "Oh, she read your book," that would be great. That would.
you didn't just read it. She would be impressed by highlights and tabs.
That is true. I didn't
You
just
put it
read it.
easy when you say you just read it. You
I
broke it
did
down.
confirm
You
everything.
broke it
I
down.
did. I did confirm everything in her book with research.
That book
Girl,
is
girl,
not for retail.
your next book. Like, if you need a researcher, I'm here. I am here.
And it comes. You got them marked in pink and yellow. You got yeah. She would be impressed.
But that is true. That is true. I forgot about that one.
Oh, that was the book of memories because when that came out, it was I got a whole pack of highlighters. I got some tabs. We're going to town on this book. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could never resell it unless somebody likes pink highlight.
Yeah, but
yeah, she was awesome though. She does her thing, and people don't realize how smart she is. Like they just think she's just Denise. No, if you don't know her, you don't really know her because she knows her stuff, and yeah, she just doesn't know your highlighting skills.
But okay, we know all about the GOP and white supremacists going after drag queens, the LGBTQIA plus community. But once again, we realize why they were going so hard this weekend. Another one of their own. You know what? Let me just show y'all. We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Fucking Oklahoma, I swear to God, it's always the red states that are screaming, save the children, that are the ones that are actually hurting them.
District Attorney for Payne and Logan counties arrested on complaints of child pornography charges. OSBI says the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children linked 14 cyber tips to one person. That person, authorities now say, is Assistant DA Kevin Etherington.
Let me just explain how all this panned out. So the dude in Oklahoma that's responsible for prosecuting criminals and determining how much jail time they spend based on the crime that they commit was found with fucking tetrabytes of abused preteen material, over 150 different victims. And all it took for the American judicial system to start working for its taxpayers was 14. It took 14 different complaints from a nonprofit to be like, yeah, we probably need to execute a search warrant. I was gonna end the video there till I found this piece of trash in my drafts and realized, holy fuck, it all makes sense now. Like, what's the probability of a district attorney and a police chief being convicted of the same exact crime in the span of 4 months?
Police chief at Hydro is headed to prison. Last January, Tyler Davis was arrested on child porn, rape, and child sexual assault charges.
Yeah, so drive a couple counties down and then you run into the police chief that has also been convicted of child porn and rape. Like, he literally actually, essayed his own victims. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when people tell me that the state of Oklahoma is, trafficking children and, the authorities are in on it, how do you be like, nah, that's just a conspiracy theory? Like, legit, if I ask one of my employees to predict sex crimes in the United States, it'd just be a line like this. It'd be like, hey, what state do you live in and what's your job?
Okay, let me put my IT hat on for a minute for y'all. He had a tetrabyte, and there were over 100 victims of just being on video. Do you know how many videos of 100 people it would take to fill up a tetrabyte? Okay, you know those little creepy crawlies that come into your house with a whole bunch of legs on the side? Imagine if attached to each one of those legs were 1,000 videos. And I'm trying to keep my explanation mild, not to trigger anyone, because I do not know the backstory or the history of everybody that watches the show, and I do not mean to trigger anyone. So that's why I'm using this example. So please, in the comment section, don't try to break down the example. Leave the example the way that it is. Please leave the example the way that it is. But I hope everyone can get what I'm saying regarding a tetrabyte. This wasn't 1 or 2 videos. This wasn't 1 or 2 pictures.
Yeah.
So and remember, all of this was going down while people are now left with no electricity until maybe tomorrow, where in Columbus, Ohio, the Proud Boys showed up in full gear. What is more detrimental to children, being riddled with bullets or being read to by somebody in a fantastical wig and makeup and maybe some choreographed dancing in the background? But last night, if you joined me, you know that I followed the runoff elections very closely. But if you recall, I ended the show without telling you whether or not Herschel Walker had conceded and how he conceded.
What's his badge?
This is why, I'm not going to pull us from the feed because it's only a 15-second video, but this is why.
Oh, so it was Lady Graham who called Reverend Warnock to concede the race for Herschel Walker because, you know, he's still trying to figure out how to put a sentence together over there.
So yes, Herschel Walker did not concede for himself. Lindsey Graham, his top handler, conceded for him. Now, I did get a chance in the wee hours. I was in a conversation with a group of friends of mine, and I got out the call because I was like, I do need to go to sleep, which I did, and I forgot that I still had the TV going on. And literally, as soon as I hung up the phone, they played Herschel Walker's concession speech at his headquarters, and he said to respect the Constitution, and I was like, ooh, that's a jab towards Trump. And this was the most coherent speech I ever heard from Herschel Walker. I apologize. I wish I wasn't as sleepy as I was at the time, and I would have had the forethought to record it, or at least, message my friends to be like, hey, turn this on and record it. But I wasn't. I was sleepy. I'm human. But this was the first time I heard Herschel Walker be actually cognizant and say, get behind democracy. Yeah, they're about to send him back to Texas and never look at him again.
Yeah, we won't hear from him again. Yeah, they'll take his badge from him. It will be revoked. Yeah.
But his son Christian, the only one that he's publicly claimed, but then turned around and said it was ugly, stupid, and everything else. Oh, Christian emptied the clip. So we're going to go to this video, and then I also have an article, and then we'll talk about it.
After his loss to Warnock, and I'm all here for it. Christian said, the truth, Trump called my dad for months demanding that he run. Everyone with a brain begged him, please do not do this. This is too dirty. You have an insane past. Please don't do this. He got the middle finger. He ran. Christian then said Republicans say we don't play identity politics. And then you ran this man mainly because he was the same skin color as his opponent with no background other than that he played football. Any boring Republican could have won. And then saving the best for last, Christian Walker said, hey, don't beat women, don't hold guns to people's heads, fund abortion.
Like I said, coming from AOL.com, I do have an article, but once again, make sure you check out the links in the description of this video. And I do have a blog that specifically talks about this runoff election. Please read it if you like it, or even if you don't like it and you think that what I said was bullshit, even though I do link sources and confirmation and, back sources to it. Share it to your friends. Share it to your opponents. Let them weigh in. I don't care. And if you have a Google account, you can comment on it. Go ahead. You can follow it. Do that. But coming from People Magazine, Christian Walker says people begged Dad Herschel not to run. This is too dirty. You have an insane past. Herschel Walker's outspoken son, Christian, has more to say following his father's loss to Senator Raphael Warnock in the Georgia Senate runoff on Tuesday. The truth, Trump called my dad for months demanding that he run, Christian tweeted Tuesday night. Everyone with a brain begged him, please don't do this. This is too dirty. You have an insane past. Please do not do this. We got the middle finger. He ran. The 23-year-old followed the tweet with another one defending his mother, Cindy DeAngelis Grossman. This is my amazing mom who's had her name and image dragged through the media unwillingly. Christian, I am glad that you're finally waking up. But none of us forgot, and the internet is forever. Wayback Machine does exist, y'all. And just go to waybackmachine.com. You can, anyhow. You were there on your father's side. You were there until the egregiousness, until the lies became public. Then you distanced. You're no different than Candace Owens. My question is, when are you stop playing? Stop playing. We know that you've been liberal this whole time. When you gonna come to the right side of history? Because I know, as fabulous as you are, and as much time and effort as you put into your image, you do not want to go into the history books on the wrong side of history. Because when you're on the wrong side of history, they rarely put your picture up. And I know you want your picture plastered everywhere, baby. So
not like Candace.
From one queer to another queer, baby. When you finally gonna just say, you know what, I fucked up, I'm sorry, I was on his coattails to give y'all the queer vote, to give y'all the LGBTQIA plus vote, and now I don't want to do it because I knew you were full of shit and being a puppeteer for your father when you said you were moving to Miami, Florida. See, you tried to fool people because a lot of people think that Florida is so conservative, but I know the demographic of Miami. I know how Miami votes. Because you weren't leaving liberal California to go to liberal Miami. If you really wanted to be in a wonderland of conservatism, you would have went to Texas, where your daddy never moved out of. Oh,
we're down the street from Ron in Florida. Ron's coming.
My thing is, I still live way too close to Mitch McConnell. That's what makes it ghetto over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do not pay these prices for it to be so ghetto.
Right, and Cameron.
Well, I moved away from Cameron. I know where Cameron stays. Remember, I moved away. You know, I'm not going to say on air, but you know where I used to live. And I lived way too close to...
Yeah, that was like living down the street from Candace.
Yeah, and there's some folks that are watching now that y'all know where I used to live. And y'all know I'm not built for that. And I'm not trying to make orange my new black. But Little Miss Passe Blanche, and if you don't know what Passe Blanche means, it is a biracial or highly light-skinned person of color that passes as white. Carrie Lake is still trying to cosplay Trump. And before y'all go, Taz, you're reaching. I don't reach for shit but my glass of water or my glass of wine. Y'all.
And it's not Rachel Dolezal now.
She is the third coming. Here we go.
Happy Hump Day. I feel it's important in my reporting to note that this actually went on for several minutes. Carrie Lake couldn't win an election. She's having no luck in the courts. All her motions are getting struck down. So she took to prayer now. She wants God to give her vengeance, strike down the election results, and install her as governor. Have a great day.
And we, oh God, ask you for your justice. You are the Spirit of truth, and we pray that you would bring to light all of the things that have been done to try to steal, kill, and destroy the voice of the people, the freedom of the people, their right to vote in this nation. And we are asking upon you to bring forth, as it says in Luke 18, avenge us speedily from our adversaries.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you. Say something. What in the world? Why does this always happen towards the end of the show? I can't hear you once again. I don't know what goes on at the end of these shows the past couple weeks. Who's reporting us that takes away Chris's sound? Well, at least we got through this much. And as always, thank you all for joining us. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. We'll just ow. We'll just end it here.
Adult entertainment has any place in our very family-friendly conservative Christian downtown.
So drag shows are not suitable for their family-friendly conservative Christian downtown. But the cherry on top of this dumpster fire of a X-Lax hot garbage-filled cake is that not even a mile away from where the drag show was performing, we have this right here. What is that? Why, it's Cheetah's, a classy premier gentleman's club. Now, I have nothing against these type of establishments, but I thought adult entertainment belongs nowhere near their family-friendly town. You guys gotta, think these through.